Welcome, everybody, to the South Park Phone Story Weekly Update for Week 3. At least the third update, or the third week since the update, since the reset. Appreciate you guys all stopping by. Welcome in Quad Known, Jimmy James, Savage. Matt is also here. Welcome in Cheerio, Spaz-a-lot. Good to see you again. Savage, Black Star, Jimmy, multiple people twice. Did Satan used to behave differently? What do you mean? He's changing his ratio. We'll talk about that later when we go through the updates. But we're going to start off this week just talking a bit about last week. We're going to pop up the scores here. Free-to-play whales coming in with technically the third. I don't know. I think this is the bot kind of making a mistake here. If you look at the Illuminati at the top, Chef's Army is second, which is what I'm confused about. Chef's Army. So what I think this is I think Chef's Army was silver, and I think Chef's Army did really well in silver, and then I think Chef's Army just got into gold, and so now this is showing the gold teams technically. So I think that's what happened. But then you see Free-to-Play Whales, Chef Slate, Dire Tide, so kind of the top four as you expected. And then France Elite, that might be the same thing. They were silver. But otherwise, Szechuan Sauce, Tidal Wave, French Friendly, and Reddit SPPD were teams that were in the top 10 or whatever previously. So, you know, they're kind of living up to their name, living up to their potential. So not bad. Not bad. But that's pretty much the only screen I'm going to put up anymore for this one. If you want to also see, if you want to see a closer up of my Team Wars games so that you can study them a little bit more or whatever, or if you want to see the outcome for each team that I was on for all 5 accounts, so you'll get to see how many points we had, and then you also see what I get for my pack. I'm going to start including that in those games. This week, I'd say the title fight was against Moby Dick 666, who's somebody I believe we've had a BHV against in the past. Yeah, 5K is real sweaty. But we're going to continue to... I was thinking about maybe not doing the games on this one and then shortening this one by like half an hour, if not longer. But I decided like one of the quintessential parts of the update is the real-time, shoutcast and feedback on like my plays, my mistakes, their mistakes, and also the deck. We can kind of talk about what we thought was the best choice. Did we pick the best? What was the better decks, etc., etc. So we're gonna get started with that, and we'll start with the Adventure Lock, which this week had a pretty terrible deck, but we did have... Bubby's crying over there. We did have level 6 PC Principal and level 6 Terrence and Phillip, so it wasn't completely hopeless. So let's watch this game, and let's see how we do it. Southern Fried, and this isn't silver, so we have a little bit better chance, but that's one card leveled up. Now we didn't. Now if I would have been on Adventure Locked, we would have had Santa and more options, and we would have been built up. But I'm still on Namblos trying to get Chomper up to level 5. I now have it to level 5, so next week, or I guess this week, I'll probably swap my Adventure Lock account back to an Adventure Lock team so that we'll have more competitive games. Want your feedback on what I thought was stronger? Well, I definitely think that Mintberry Crunch was definitely the best choice, like without a doubt. I thought free-to-play pulling Medusa was a mistake. You can get a lot of value from even a level 1 Mintberry Crunch you're seeing right here, right? So imagine if that was a level 4. Lava doesn't stop them. The only thing is that like enemy Mintberry Crunch and then enemy Chaos kills your Mintberry Crunch depending on the level. So that's something you gotta kind of be careful for. But right now, like, I still don't have PC Principal or Terrence and Phillip, but luckily the level 4 is enough of a threat. And the Slave level 2 still has a decent chance to survive against the level 3, so we're pretty fair on levels here. We'd play the Chaos, which is probably a bad idea, but we're just trying to cycle to Terrence and Phillip, really. Oh, we play the level 4 Stan the Great. I guess we're just thinking to try to counter his secondary. No, that was a bad play. I should have played Terrence and Phillip right there. But I had the bar already, so not a big deal. Gonna have an account on Nambos once your adventure lock is gone. Yeah, I'll move. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Gotta cover those swarms. All right, so it gets the rats. Not a big deal. All right, good shit. Now we throw the PC Principal in there. This is kind of us trying, like, if we don't win with this push, we're in trouble, kind of, you know? Because we don't, like, have any other cards. So we're just going to try to pull the defense away from PC Principal. PC Principal gets on. No, but he's pushed away by Alternate Human Kite, but it doesn't matter. Our Alt Human Kite, which is pretty good card at base level, even. But our level 6s are able to pull it away for us. So it just goes to show that sometimes it's better to just have 1 or 2 higher leveled cards than a fully, like, spread out deck, kind of. Adventure lock gone. No, Buttercups is the team name. We'll probably change team names here pretty soon. Kick some ass in bronze. I honestly would be I'm kind of curious to see what the other leagues are like right now. So we're trying to mess around with the berries. So the idea is to just keep people away, but I'm like, I don't think they can break my Slave. So now we're just trying to keep people away, and we get triple spawns, but we only, wait a second, why did we only get 1 spawn instead of 3? Okay, so I got 1 spawn for sure. And then I guess one of the berries is just fucking sitting there, I guess, huh? That was just shit. I can't tell what's happening here even. Did he get a member berry? Oh, his member berry just reached out. What the fuck? Member berries is so glitchy. This is why you don't pick member berries. So I got only 1, even though it went to 2. Well, okay, so I guess that makes sense. Well, no, it should have done 3, though. There should have been 3. Because Scout's right fucking there. So it should have been 1, 2, 3. It looks like we only got 2. And then nobody ever steps on this one, I guess. And then that was for them, too. Like, they got it, but they didn't get a spawn? Do you not get a spawn if it just jumps to it? Do you just get the berries? I thought if they were in range, it spawned. I don't understand. Did he not have a usable card in his deck? That can't have been possible, right? All right, now we use PC Principal. Right when I used PC Principal here, I was like, oh shit, I'm just gonna knock his Medusa back, and Medusa's gonna be alive forever. This is great right here. Watch him line PC Principal all the way back. And able to help defend. Beautiful. And then Medusa has to walk forward. Level 1 Shield Maiden still has a shield, so, you know, still has just as much time invincible for that first one. Don't have to worry about it yet. The lava, though, very frustrating at this point. We probably could have shielded there, but she wouldn't have really mattered much anyway. So we used the member berry so that he had to eat. So this is something to learn here. If you play member berries exactly on the midline like that, they get hit by New Kid and die. So you have to play him a little bit behind New Kid, or behind the line, or else that'll happen. So that's something you learn. Yep, I'm like, oh shit, look at that. That's something you learn. It is what it is. All right, we got Blue Bucket, though, going against Moby Dick. This is kind of the fight of the night. Moby Dick 666 which 6666, which we do have a, I believe we have a Buckethead versus this guy, I think. Sometimes they summon only one berry when multiple would summon too close. Yeah, that must be what happened. Won my game on Adventure Lock with Shield Maiden when he's stopping Ike and New Kid. Nice. Yeah, Shield Maiden's good. So the Ike getting beat up there. So we're in terrible position right now. If he gets a Mint-Berry Crunch behind him, I'm in trouble. But we're able to defend a little bit. All right, this is good. I like this. Can we keep... I think we resigned that Timmy's going to die. Now, he just hit Cox and PC Principal with that Mint-Berry Crunch, which was very, very big. So you'll see us hit his Mint-Berry Crunch, hit him with Chaos, dead. If I would have waited a little bit on that Chaos, that might have been nice. But it ended up working out okay. Our Chaos died a little earlier than I wanted him to, but our Cox are coming in, messing stuff up a little bit. We're at a big advantage here. We got to get Santa out for that Mint-Berry Crunch. All right, this is working well. I was just worried that the Mint-Berry Crunch was going to get hit by the Wonder Tweak and die, but luckily Wonder Tweak started hitting the Santa like we were hoping. Now we have some extra Cox protecting us. Hopefully he plays something the Mint-Berry Crunch can attack. Yes, he does. Then we use Stand the Great. Then we trigger that. Might as well just use that. Beautiful. Wait for the Stand the Great. Use it right there. Perfect. Now, actually, Witch Doctor here is going to get the ability off. Maybe I should have waited on the Mint-Berry Crunch, but it didn't really help much. He still dies. Mint-Berry Crunch is alive. Shield Maiden protected the damage. Even though I think, let's roll that back. Did Santa push Witch Doctor away enough where Witch Doctor's ability wouldn't have hit? No, I don't know if that would have hit Shield Maiden either way, because Shield Maiden using her ability, I think, slowed her down enough where she wasn't in Witch Doctor's range. So that worked out pretty well. So now at this point, I had a pretty decent energy lead, so I just played an Assassin topside to help protect, especially since I had, you know, Mint-Berry Crunch's damage potentially there and the Stand the Great reduction there. So that was a really nice play there, and we're able to chunk them huge with that Scout. So now we're just going to tempo aggro here. Not much he can do. The Chaos was a pretty good play there, but getting the Stand the Great off right before he dies makes him pretty much worthless. And then we're able to just slide right through. Well played. Bastard, he says. Whoops. All right, now we got Pointed Detective from Delete Facebook. Nice. Nice. All right. PC Principal. Probably slow play, because the Wendy will just keep getting pushed back and keep getting her charge, so she actually deals with PC Principal quite well. We throw some rats in there to take a couple of hits. Nicely done. Shield it. Nice. See, it works out pretty well. We'll put the Santa out because we have 2 charges already. We cycle into the Mint-Berry Crunch, which is awesome, which is pretty much an unstoppable push here when I get my Mint-Berry Crunch out. But that was a good Stand the Great there. We're just going to wait till 10 here, see what he does. So now we got to kind of prevent his Mint-Berry Crunch from getting hella value. So we're going to boost all our homies, including those rats there, which is going to get through to the new kid and start doing damage. Force that Witch Doctor maybe a little sooner than he wanted it. Not able to get the value because Mint-Berry Crunch and Santa was clearly the right choice this week. Clearly the right choice this week. But it looks like we're outplaying them at every point here. Our Mint-Berry Crunch, even though level 3, just killing it. We're going to support the push. Boom! Get some. Oh, see, I should have used it right away. I don't know why I was waiting. Why did I wait? Rip. Yeah, Mint-Berry Crunch is just so good. So Timmy not getting hit here pretty good. PC Principal pushes Timmy ahead a little bit sooner. Gets the damage off. Gets the ability off. He will survive the new kid one more time because of that Mint-Berry Crunch boost. PC Principal and Terrence will eat up this PC Principal. Our Scout hitting him with the cock. Taking out his Scout, preventing any sort of defense there. Well played. The aggro. Very well done. And once you play the lava in front of your new kid, it's game over, baby. That is just such a waste of energy. Yeah, you better start crying. All right, we got Airman by Squad Goals. I either played this guy or somebody else from Squad Goals on a different account. But I remember this one being pretty good. So right off the bat, he's got a huge advantage on me. Santa lead is one of the better leads, but you got at this point just gotta out slow play him. So you'll see that's all I'm doing right now is I'm out slow playing him. If he has Mintberry Crunch soon, I'm in trouble because then Timmy's dead early. But hopefully he's gonna try to do some other stuff. All right, that works pretty well. He does get it before I get the shield off, unfortunately. But now we have Santa Mintberry Crunch on the counter, so we might be in pretty good shape here. Although that Witch Doctor is gonna be pretty scary here. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna use that ability right away just to get the Mintberry Crunch as soon as we could. Stan the Great getting those Santas. Very well done. This Witch Doctor is not gonna go down. Oh, the Cox take it down, but we're going to take out the Witch Doctor with the Mintberry Crunch. It's going to depend. No, but Mintberry Crunch does take out the Timmy, and Santa, in a sea of Cox, attacks the the Witch Doctor token. All right, this is actually good this is good for us. We're in a pretty power position here. Our counter push is going to be very difficult to kill. The Labard coming out, not too bad. Deals with the Scout, but Scout gonna be able to take the hit. Nope. Fortunately for him, Stan the Great does not impact New Kid. We didn't use Stan the Great there. We didn't waste it on the lava, which is what he was expecting, which is very nice. But we're able to get that bar on the counter. Now, can we keep it going? Yes, we're gonna push on the bottom side. That's gonna lower our damage a little bit, but the shield's gonna come back right away. I think we did take New Kid damage there, though, which is too bad. Now, Dark Mage Craig here wouldn't be that bad. Then the Medusa might not be able to one-shot these Cocks. But we're playing conservatively, making sure we don't lose on a counter push because it can get pretty hectic here if he gets a nice Santa Mintberry Crunch. Now, the Timmy gonna need a little bit of support because of these Cocks. There's no sort of chip, so we don't really care if we take a couple shots here. 40 seconds is a long time, but we're in a pretty good position here. Although his Medusa is going to be hard to get to. Now we're thinking about playing the PC principle to push away the Wonder Tweak, but the Wonder Tweak, the guy for some reason uses his Wonder Tweak, or I always say Wonder Tweak because it's WDT. The token, I don't know why he used it full health like that. Like, what was the point of that? Didn't really make any sense. But now we're just defending. Now, he had pretty good defense here, and I think with a little bit of extra time, he might have been able to push through that. But with that Stan the Great going out, limiting his damage there a lot, I think we probably would have been fine. We just made a lot of people not happy on that account today. I guess it was yesterday. Schnarf, schnarf. Actually, some of these might have been today because they might have been past midnight. Hillbilly, what's up, buddy? Welcome in. Welcome back. How's everybody doing? Outrageous. How's everybody doing? Schnarf, schnarf. So the Timmy lead, also one of the better starts this week. I started PC Principle because I just kind of wanted a slow play. Didn't want to play Santa until I have the Mintberry Crunch, you know. Now, Coop here isn't terrible, but Santa, we're going to hope for the nice Mintberry Crunch cycle here. He doesn't have a great push yet. Once that Santa comes out, though, we're going to be in trouble. But I feel pretty good about his whole push coming into us. Being able to nullify it with the Dark Mage Craig might be pretty good. We'll see what happens here. All right, I like this. Gonna play the Stan the Great out. I like it. All right, there we go. This is the Mintberry Crunch. We're gonna use the Santa right away. Even if we could have waited on the Stan the Great, we wanted to get that quicker on the Mintberry Crunch. All right, nicely done. Stan the Great goes down, and unfortunately, his Santa wasn't attacking my Santa, so my Professor gets beat up a little bit. But because of that Stan the Great, the Professor Chaos takes one more hit before he dies. And the AoE from the, God, what the fuck is that guy's even name? Dark Elf? Dark Mage? Dark Mage. The Dark Mage is actually doing pretty good, getting some extra chip on those Cocks, and I think making it so that Mintberry Crunch can take him down with one hit, even though it's level 3. now, just like the last game, we're going to add a little bit of pressure here, mostly because most of the push is going to die to the lava. So that wasn't a terrible lava. But as you can see, the moment you use lava to defend, you're going to lose. It's just not a good card. There's just no real benefit to that. Yeah, exactly. The damage spread over Chaos and Santa. Florida man, what's up? Midberry Crunch was definitely the right choice. Definitely brutal. Definitely hard to deal with him this week. That's what when I was looking at the deck, I thought, see, this is the squad goal guy. When I was doing this deck, I thought, I cannot think of how I would stop Midberry Crunch in the corner. If it was like if I had a decent push at his doorstep and he had 10 energy and he put Santa Midberry Crunch, then supported it with like Scout, Shield Maiden, Coop, Timmy eventually, I could not think of how I could possibly stop that. There's just nothing in the deck that could stop a big push like that. When it's anything that would stop it gets fucking insta-gibbed by Midberry Crunch, so you can't even use it. And there's nothing like Inkin or anything like that to stop the Midberry Crunch. So yeah, Midberry Crunch was definitely big. And you see here, all it takes is Shield Maiden and Medusa's dead. Once she gets to the half court line, she's just so weak and so shitty. She's got that soft, shitty snake body. It's just not great. I didn't have to use that shield there. I think we took new kid damage there. It's hard to tell. She has so much health. But this guy going down easy. The poor squad goals got 8 up tonight. That's what you get for waiting until Sunday night to try to dodge fucking killers, baby. All right, now we got Quebec Bastards. Gross Calvaire de Grain. Does anybody know what that means? Is that something? So Stan in the corner, not terrible. Stand behind New Kid is what I prefer, because if he like led Scout mid and I had Stan in the corner, like I would have to be forced to play another card. We're gonna just keep slow playing here and hopefully get to some sort of position where we can kill this Witch Doctor. I don't think Witch Doctor was the choice this week. Shield Maiden is just so much more impactful in like every situation, I think. So this was a ballsy pick here, but with the chaos, it's not that bad as long as we drop him before he gets that charge. The problem with Witch Doctor is that you saw it right there. His second charge, it just takes so long. It takes so long to get his second charge off that it's almost like he's just so bad. And here you can see Medusa, the same slot that would be a, like if Midberry Crunch was sitting in that exact same position, how, like, look at this, look at my hand. If, let's say if it's PC Principal and I play a Midberry Crunch mid right here, what do? Lay my Midberry Crunch just to get killed by his Midberry Crunch because he's going to get his ability faster than me every time, hoping I can get a hit on Midberry Crunch, maybe cycle to my Chaos, maybe Dark Mage gets AoE on him, unlikely because he'll be fucking attacking snakes from Medusa. I mean, Scout is probably the play once PC Principal hits. If Midberry Crunch was out there, Scout on PC Principal would be the play once PC Principal starts hitting Coop. But Midberry Crunch has his ability, he could insta-give the Scout and then wasted 3 energy, right? So yeah, just such a hard card to deal with. The only couple cards that could deal with them, just like Timmy versus Midberry Crunch, Timmy's not gonna win. Timmy's gonna knock him backwards to a advantageous position half the time. And then not to mention, Midberry Crunch just like survives level 14 New Kid almost twice, I think. And it's just so much value. And not only that, but it can make certain units that would normally not survive New Kid survive New Kid, which can win you a game there by making, forcing somebody to, to defend the push again instead of being able to, sit and wait and gain energy back. Tweak and Jimmy helped. Yeah, that's true. Because you could pull in with, you could get that damage from Tweak, and then Labard damage helped as well, for sure. That was definitely another option. And one Midberry Crunch, if you hit him with Labard and then used your Midberry Crunch ability, that would kill him too. So yeah, Labard wasn't a terrible choice this week. What was Labard's counter option though? Does anybody remember? So there we were using the Mintberry Crunch to hopefully help kill the Witch Doctor. Now that actually kind of helped me because it brought all my guys together so that I could kill Witch Doctor token. So that was kind of shit. But you can see there, even a level 3 survived completely and got off 2 abilities. Like, what? Like, what the fuck? What are you supposed to do to that? Like, what are you supposed to do to this? Survives New Kid, even though he was getting hit by something. Survives New Kid, and now with Santa's fat ass still there, uses his ability, gets another one, uses his ability, cleans out the enemy. If I would have waited a fraction of a second, I could have smacked his Stan the Great so much that he would have died right there to that counter. His Stan the Great wouldn't have gotten anything off. It wouldn't have changed much because Scout still would have fucked shit up, but I mean, that was just brutal. Like, what do you do to that? Witch Doctor and Tweak are comboed. Terrence and Phillip. Terrence and Phillip is pretty damn good, though. Terrence and Phillip's just a very good Team Wars card. Very hard to deal with. New Kid doesn't help pick off their health. And that's kind of their... It's kind of the detriment to them is that once they get New Kid range, New Kid can deal with one single one of them quite well. It doesn't take... It takes like, what, 13 hits or something like that to kill him. It's not terrible. All right, now we'll go over to the main. We got James Bond 007 from Mercenaries. We got some good matchups this week. I never know if it's top Merc, second Merc, third Merc. I don't know the difference. James Bond 007 coming at us. All right. So this good counter on his part. Medusa into PC Principal puts me at a bad position because I'm just going to push his Medusa back. So I decided to double down on this push a bit. Forces him to play the lava. Not bad here. He's going to beat my Terrence and Phillip, but I'm going to still win actually because my Terrence and Phillip were attacking his Terrence and Phillip and his Phillip attacked my PC Principal. So we're actually at a good position here. We're going to be able to slow play into him pretty well, and nothing that he has out now is going to stop the Slave. Now, I was going to play Slave back behind New Kid, but I didn't want to play him that early. Or I didn't want to play him back there and just have him get blasted by Medusa before, you know, just like the whole time. So I played him on Medusa so that he would at least get damage on her and actually avoid the PC Principal there, which, you know, has a little bit higher damage there to potentially break the Slave. So there he's about to get half and you drop the Stan the Great, which is ideal. He drops his Stan the Great, so I'm not doing any damage to his PC Principal except for my New Kid, which isn't much. Here we're trying to deal with his Stan the Great before we get it off, but we're able to stop his Shield Maiden, and unfortunately he does have enough time to get his Stan the Great off. We're going to keep supporting this push because we have just enough damage and just enough health to keep pushing through against his Medusa, and Medusa gets murdered by the Cox even. Like, there's nothing good about it. There's just nothing good about that. Wow, he's mad. Yikes. 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 Big mad. Big mad. Look at that one cock taking out New Kid. And then the perfectly played PC Principal doesn't get hit by New Kid, which was lovely. And then look at that. The rats don't get hit by the lava. I mean, you could not play this shit better. This guy's getting fucking a clinic on how to play South Park Phone Destroyer right here. Everything goes my way exactly how I planned it. Well done. Well done. KR Loss from Six Samurais. Another one. Another one could be a good matchup. All right, now the Catapult is one of the better leads this week. Any week the Catapult is an option, unless like Dwarf King is an option, or Dougie or something like that's an option. Maybe not. Disarray, that is. But usually Timmy's a good option. Slow play. We slow played a little bit extra with the PC Principal pushing back Timmy just a tiny little bit. 1 or 2 frames might impact the game at some point. Now he does have level 7 Stan the Great at 7,300. What a D ranker, right? But he didn't use his ability, so PC Principal able to really eat shit up here. And we use, ooh, interesting choice here. We use the Dark Mage, and Dark Mage actually survives, doesn't get hit. Oh, takes him down. Dark Mage, though, did his job. In my opinion, he did very well there. Now the two rats come out right when the lava clears. They take a few shots so Terrence and Philip can get a little bit closer. Those level 7s, like I said, don't die to New Kid like they normally would. Survive with a tiny fraction of health and can still get 2 hits off before New Kid can kill him just like this. So Terrence and Philip, too good of a card to possibly pick Labard over them, especially since Labard just like doesn't do it, you know. There's nothing in the deck that really Labard was like, oh yeah, we need that. Now we get Baba Yaga from Cripple Fight, another name we know. Level 4 NBC was GG, but to a whale. Yeah, pretty much. I had level 3 and I felt like I couldn't lose. But I'm also pretty versed with Midberry Crunch, Santa, timing, that kind of stuff. Stan the Great timing, I'm pretty good at that too. Midberry Crunch is fucking good though, yeah. Yeah, but I don't think it was like consistent enough, because you had to combo him with something else to kill. Like if he just killed Midberry Crunch, absolutely, he would be a great choice. But he doesn't. Like he has to be paired with something else, and that alone makes him not as good. So when it comes to chaos versus chaos action, whoever chaos is second is gonna win that push typically. And in this case, his Wonder Tweak did a good job of doing a lot of damage to me, but neither of these cards can consistently break Slave. Although I will say, Shield Maiden can do it pretty easily, but I knew she wouldn't be around long enough to be a threat because we wouldn't get to half health in time, so no real worry there. Our Slave in a good position. We're at half energy. We're going to support that with the Cox coming in. This is going to be really hard to deal with. All right, this is good. We're going to play Stan the Great, which is going to make it much harder to deal with. And because of that, I mean, this is just perfect play here. Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but like this is how you guys play. The Stan went out right when the Medusa's attack was about to come. Doesn't get hit by New Kid, but Medusa gets knocked back behind Stan, so now Stan is tanking for the Medusa, and no longer is Medusa in threat. And we can drop the Scout before he's about to break the Slave. Oh, he does break the Slave, but we're able to minimize that damage, pretty much disappear the Stan. I mean, that's a loss right there. The moment he played Stan the Great there, that was a loss. He lost any chance of coming back the moment he played that card like that. Now we play the Dark Mage right there because we have the Cox coming, and the Cox will just not get stopped at all by New Kid if he's got that half health. He already doesn't stop him, or half attack. He already doesn't stop him at level 14 anyway. But can we get a bucket reward cash for I played the game perfectly? I don't think I have a clip for that. So you saying that 8K is sus? Yeah, I don't know. Did not gotten 3-barred like that? Yeah, what a tater. He had good levels. Yeah, he did. He really did. Level 7s and shit. Skip breakfast as well. Level 7 TNP. But the level 5... And this is what I was talking about. All you gotta do is get... all you have to do is get Santa Midberry Crunch out. And oh, all my damage is gone from Stan the Great? No, it's not. That just gives me a guilt-free opportunity to use my abilities. Now we put Stan the Great out ourselves, and he plays that. I mean, that was just a terrible member berries. So that's just that right there in a competitive match loses you the game. You just wasted 2 energy basically. You just lost the game. There's no coming back from that. Now there I could have done it better. I could have waited and gotten the shield, but I wanted the shield to stop the New Kid. Thought maybe I wouldn't be able to get it in time. Works out though, because we're still blasting away. And now, oh, you're about to kill my Midberry Crunch? No, you're not. Oh, wait, yeah, you'll get him now. No, you won't. Like, you're not going to kill my Midberry Crunch. It's just so fucking hard. And look at that. The Professor Chaos comes out perfectly when the Philip comes out. And then the Stan the Great keeps him alive. And New Kid can't stop the Chaos. Oh, he does stop it. Okay, he got it. But the Wonder Tweak he can't stop. And even if he can... It's just tough, man. Tough out here for a pimp. We got Soda Sopa Ninja. Really loud with lots of echoes. Maybe like a vuvuzela or something like that. Like a boom 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 boom. You know, like reggae shit. The cows, I gotta admit, not a terrible pick. It's hard to stop the cows from taking a bar. See, I just wasted the Stay in the Great. Can you tell that I played this game before that other one earlier? Because earlier someone played Lava and I didn't waste the Stay in the Great. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I saw it coming. Stay in the Great gets one more ability off before he dies. And that was very nice. That let the Shield Maiden deal with both Chaos and the other guy. But I did misplay the... I forgot... This is like my second set of games when I played this one. I completely spaced that Dark Mage had a range, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna smack Terrence and Phillip here. Like, put it out without even realizing it. Once I let it go, I was like, oh shit, they're not in range. But yeah, you see up there, that would have been a kind of tough to deal with because Professor Chaos would have been pretty much full health. Scout would have had a little bit of health, but Dark Mage maybe would have gotten the AoE on him, so maybe it wouldn't have been that hard. Terrence and Phillip probably would have dealt with it all right, but definitely would have been better if Terrence and Phillip had half attack right there, right? My Terrence and Phillip would be going back this way, half health, with a Dark Mage behind him. All right, this might be good. The AoE on the new kid, the Dark Mage, nice. No, he's attacking the snake. Ooh, he only got one, but there comes the AoE. Yes, AoE on the... No, he goes down way too quickly from that level 4 Medusa. But that level 4 Medusa countering the Cox a little bit here. But the thing about Medusa is that she'll start hitting the coop and won't really like get a bunch of snakes in the process. All right, this will be interesting here. We're going to try to Wonder Tweak away. No, we're going to try to get the Witch Doctor out quickly. Hopefully, or not the Wonder Tweak. Not Wonder Tweak. Fuck! We're flustered! Ah! It's the Mintberry Crunch. Hopefully, going to be able to deal. No, but the Santa pushing the... Oh my god, let's see that again. The Santa pushing away the Witch Doctor. We're worried about doing enough damage to kill the Witch Doctor. We can't do it. We could have played Chaos, but we were worried. And luckily, Santa coming in clutch. Oh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be tight. But our Chaos surviving, blasting the Medusa because Medusa was attacking Santa. That's what I'm talking about, man. If that was Mintberry Crunch that whole time, he could have been blasting me. I could have been dying. But as it stands now, like, what the fuck's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Right there, we were just trying to keep Terrence and Phillip alive a little bit. Good play. Yeah, pull him away. Get him into the Mintberry Crunch attack sooner, which let him one shot. Not bad. Not bad. All right, now we're in a good spot here. You can't really do something. We'll use that. All right. Nice. Wonder Tweak was a good card. Like, Wonder Tweak level 6, not a bad card. Flustered Cuck coming in. One more game, baby. One more game, baby. All right, C Lil V 2.0. Bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. CC Lil V2. Oh, look at this. The Shield Maiden completely forgetting about that Santa. Oh boy, Santa really blowing it there. But the Shield Maiden blocking all the damage there. Beautifully done. Now he's got a good push coming towards us so we can slow play with the Coop a little bit here. No, hopefully we can take out... All right, I like this. I like this. I like it. Bring him in. Bring him in, troops. Let him get a little closer and then go behind New Kid. There you go. I like that. I like it. Oh, baby. Should have Dark Mage Craiged him right there. Oh, should Dark Mage Craiged him. No, we're playing the Mintberry Crunch. It's just interesting choice here. Now we Dark Mage Craig. Should have done that a bit earlier. Our Mintberry Crunch is going to die unless that Dark Mage saved our Mintberry Crunch. No, he didn't. His Mintberry Crunch surviving forever now. Nope. Mintberry Crunch dying to New Kid. So not a big loss there. If he would have survived there, though, whoo, trouble. Wonder Tweak. I didn't exactly know his range, and I know he's got pretty high attack, so I didn't want him to two-shot his way into a bar there. So we just played the Terrence and Phillip out of pocket a little bit, midline there. Would have preferred to slow play a bit there. But works out in our favor. He plays the Coop to kind of an advantageous position for us. We're able to slow play with a fighter into the Coop a little bit because they'll pretty much one-shot him, but they'll completely have to stop to attack him every time. And they don't really take much damage as a result. So you can tell, like, this fight's going to be drastically on our side now because of that mistake by him. Now here, I don't know exactly what to do, but we're just going to try to chunk the Witch Doctor. And luckily, our Shield Maiden does start hitting Witch Doctor, so that's not hard at all. I was worried Shield Maiden would be busting up something else. Now the Mintberry Crunch coming out here, boosting everybody else was really nice. Actually pretty much negated the Labard there, which actually worked out pretty well because it kept staying the Great alive just long enough. But that was a good play there. We're thinking about what we're going to do. All right, I like it. Dark Mage here. Dark Mage here. No, not the Wonder Tweak. I like it. Terrence and Phillip on the bottom side. Can we get there? 1 bar. Can we get it? Oh, the lava slowing us down just enough. Can the Wonder Tweak get killed? No, we'll be able to take 1, but can we take the second? Oh, Wendy not able to get her damage off, but hopefully stopping any defense. Yeah, we did pull that Witch Doctor. That's pretty good. Hey, Kreb, what's up, buddy? All right, not bad. Not bad. Those are pretty good ones. Pretty good ones. So I would say definitely you can tell Mintberry Crunch was the right choice. Wonder Tweak was pretty good. I can't remember what the alternative was for Tweak. Was it Tweak versus Catapult? Is that what it was? Wonder Tweak, pretty good. Brought in stuff for the Chaos and potentially brought stuff in for the Mintberry Crunch. The problem was most of the time when you had Mintberry Crunch out, you didn't want to also play Wonder Tweak. That's kind of a big dump of energy. But I thought that was a pretty good. I thought that was a pretty fun week. There was quite a lot of variability in what you were gonna see. We saw a lot of different types of cards that came at us. But overall, the Santa Mintberry Crunch really did rule. And it was a big oversight for us to take Medusa. Although we saw a fair share of Medusas as well. I think levels might have just been the decision for some teams, where if you had like a lot of lower level Mintberry Crunches, maybe you went Medusa because Medusa's been around for so long. There's been so many deals and events and everything for Medusa that a lot of people have her level 3, level 4 naturally. And so Mintberry Crunch is probably more like level 2, level 3 naturally. So, but you saw on my accounts, level 3 is all you really need. Level 3 did just fine. If you had level 4, it was gravy. If you had level 5, whoo, hard to beat. Hard to beat. If I had my Mintberry Crunch on my main level 5 this week, oh, that would have been so much fun. But yeah, MBC 3 is definitely better than Dusa 4. I mean, I saw Mintberry Crunch 3 beat Dusa 5 too, so Dusa 4 to 5 really doesn't matter that much. Not much changes, right? So it is what it is. But let's check out the decks for next week. That is the next step in the weekly update. If you want to get a better look at those videos, you can check them out on my YouTube link right there in chat. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, the link will be in the description or potentially popping up over here somewhere. I think it's in that corner. But that will be full screen of the games with some music over it, without any shoutcasting or anything like that. So you can kind of watch them, and if you want to like study them a little bit more and kind of see, okay, you know, what placement and stuff like that for you tryhards. Use Wonder Tweak with Member Berries to have 3 opponents near. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking too last week when we were talking in the update. I was thinking, I mean, you could use Wonder Tweak to pull them into Member Berries, but at that point, like, you're using Member Berries. You're using 5 energy for Member Berries, 4 for the Wonder Tweak, and then you just pulled people probably closer to you too at the same time. The better way to play Member Berries is to play Member Berries when you have full energy and just like be able to defend in front of it to keep them from stepping on it and get the full 3. But then at the same time, all other people could die too. So that's why it works well with cards like Slave, who's got a lot of health potential but doesn't really do a lot of damage, so the people are going to stay alive. Santa is kind of similar to that, where they're not going to necessarily die to it. That's kind of your goal, is like somebody high health, low day. Zen is great, pull people even if they try to get around them, so that works really well. But we will look at the deck for this week. Oh, it's a little small. It's a little small. All right, we got a gap in it. You'll deal with it. Deal with it. You can see chat through the middle. We'll put it like that so you can see the bottom chat and the top chat. All right, so first off, I like to look through the deck and kind of see what removals they have, what kind of situational cards there might be, just to get a feel for it. So right off the bat, my eyes gravitate to the Freeze Ray, the Leanne, the Member Berries again, fucking assholes. AQR potential, Angel, Grand Wizard. So there's no heavy removal spells other than the Leanne. Leanne could potentially get hard countered by the Medusa. Satan getting nerfed, so most people will probably run Medusa. Medusa's potentially counter to the Leanne is enough to put her in the deck, in my opinion. Medusa also counters the Cox potential, turns rats into snakes. Just an all-around good card this week, because there's not something like Mintberry Crunch to outclass it. I don't think Satan's going to outclass this. Satan does not really swarm this week necessarily. It's mostly just going to be like big cards, stacked cards. Balance changes are after the war. You might be right. So yeah, so that won't matter. But still, even if Satan was like he is now, I don't think it's worth it, because there's just not enough that dies to him too. Like what are you gonna do? Satan a push that's made out of Witch, Grand Wizard, Cartman, and Slave? Like how are you gonna stop? How's that gonna stop? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So I think Medusa, just like I said, solely because Slave is an option, or not Slave. Leanne's an option. I guess Slave too. Stop the Cox, but Leanne's an option. I think Medusa's a good option, because if you can stop the Leanne from stealing your push that he expected that Leanne to kill, that's game over, pretty much, I don't know why I jumped to them first, but let's jump around. I would say Member Berries, played them on the Adventure Lock. It's not terrible. This week is definitely, I would say, potentially like the best week so far to play the Member Berries, because you could potentially pull Grand Wizard, Manbear Pig, Witch, Leanne. But that's a problem. Like, you could pull in Leanne. So at that point, you'd probably want to run Bradley, because then you could potentially pull Bradley, Slave, and Mintberry Crunch or something like that. So that's pretty good too. But like, the odds of that are just so low, and the fact that they have Leanne to be able to clear out like, if you get 3 units, oh great, I just play Leanne and I kill all 3 of them potentially, right? So I think Coop might be the choice this week. If for nothing else, like, when Leanne gets play Coop opposite of Leanne, so that you potentially, depending on the level of the Leanne and how many Cox you get out, play rats behind it, and then your Grand Wizard Cartman could potentially survive the Leanne or something like that, right? So that's kind of your goal there. So yeah, I like the Coop for the potential counterplays there. Which is going to be the choice. I don't think anybody thinks that Nellie's necessarily good at 4 cost. I don't think she's bad, but I just don't think she's worth it. When the potential is Witch, who slows everything, makes Grand Wizard Cartman's ability kind of a liability to get off, potentially slows the Medusa to like a complete standstill, slows down Manbear Pig potentially. If it hits the Timmies, their ability becomes basically worthless. So yeah, I like the Witch for sure, like, without a doubt. And you guys know I'm good for that freeze. You can leave it base level and it's still very effective. Freezing to potentially stop a stacked Nicole from wrecking havoc on you. Let your assassins kill him or something. potentially freeze an AQR that they play by your units and kill the AQR before her shit spawns. There's a lot of stuff you could freeze and get good value, but I mean, just in general, like if you're at an energy advantage and you freeze their push versus yours, it's gonna be good. Freeze to control berry situations. That's true. That's true. But I think then you're still wasting 3 energy then if it doesn't work out perfectly, you know? Deckhand versus Astro. This is a good choice because Astro's speed boost can just be brutal, but because of the fact you're going to have Coop out there, you could have Slave Cocks out there, you could have Medusa snakes, you could have rats. Astro's most likely not going to go on anybody good, and Deckhand's a little easier to, you know, focus on because of the new mechanic where they have to have damage. So hopefully, you know, you might heal a half damaged cock or something like that, but hopefully you'll be able to play it in a situation where you can fully heal your witch, fully heal, you know, get your slave over the heal again, maybe heal Manbear Pig or Grand Wizard Cartman pretty well. I think Deckhand's worth it enough, and Deckhand's just speed in general. A higher level Deckhand is just gonna wreck right through Astro, just fucking destroy him. Even if like Ike is speed boosted, Deckhand beats him, I'm pretty sure. Deckhand's very quick. He's got a little bit more health than everybody else, and he's got a pretty high DPS, so Deckhand's a good choice. I could see going Astro just for the cheaper cost, but most likely he's just gonna get killed by Medusa too, so I think Deckhand's a little bit better. Yeah, for the trade potential for sure. Because I don't think Astro can beat Smuggler Ike you know, so that puts you at a disadvantage right away. Leanne versus Bradley. Let's come back to that a little bit later. I think we already discussed that one. Catapult is just the choice. If you run Nicole, definitely Catapult. Obviously, if you run Nicole, definitely Coop. If you run Nicole, definitely Medusa, because the snakes boost Nicole. And if you run Nicole, definitely Rats. And then I would even maybe say the Manbear Pig would be worth it. Nah, Grand Wizard Cartman's still probably worth it. The Manbear Pig's not worth it because unless you run the member berries, maybe just for the chance to pull it, not worth it. But yeah, I would say Catapult's better, and Catapult slow plays a little bit better for sure. Summoning Rats behind a tank is also good versus defended berries. Yeah. Yeah. Or but at the same token, those rats could be targets for the enemy member berries to get 3 spawns too, so could be tough. Grand Wizard Cartman Chip versus New Kid. Yeah, exactly. That's true too. He can like 3-shot it and take it out. But yeah, Timmy for sure. I would say Grand Wizard Cartman for sure. I would say almost for sure the rats, because the rats counter every other assassin. The rats actually can break Slave's heal if you play him on top of Slave and they all attack him at the exact same time. But the rats counter the what's the other card? Oh, the Leanne can potentially help counter the Leanne by just adding other bodies to the mix to potentially make it mix. Yeah, rats breaking Slave is pretty tough, but it's definitely possible, especially if they're level 7, because you have to play the rats right on top of the Slave so that they spread out, and one of them's on top, left, right, center, or I guess bottom, top, bottom, left, right. And then they'll all attack at the same time. Their animation will hit at the same time because they spawn at the same time. And then it'll be as if they're hitting one shot of 300 or whatever the fuck it is. And it's enough to break it if it's close enough. It's not 100%, but I'm pretty consistent with it for sure. Especially if it's like especially if it's a level 4 Slave, very easy. But I'm pretty consistent doing that. But obviously you wouldn't want to chance that. Although the rats are just a decent stoppage to a tank in general. I think it takes Slave 2 hits to kill the rats anyway. But definitely, obviously, the rats if you go Nicole. And, I mean, Scout could potentially get nice and boosted against an enemy slave that's hitting your slave. But what's he going to do then? He's just going to hit a cock and then die. So I don't think Scout's really going to... I mean, you could just get really cheap. You could get it really cheap with the Scout and Astro. And then if you don't run, you can just kind of make up for the AQR maybe. And then just try to cycle to your bigger cards. But the problem with that is that Leanne's going to be there to stop you, right? Their big cards are going to be there to stop you too. So I would say for this week's strategy, you want to probably like one tank per push. Like when Witch is out there, you don't put anything else out. You support it with other stuff until Witch is about to die. Then you play another tank in his place to protect, you know, what you already put out there. And then if you see the Bradley, then don't worry about stacking and, you know, push it down his fucking gut. If you just killed the Leanne and dealt with it, push it down his gut, you know. But I would say Rats probably definitely, unless you want to just go for a cheaper deck. Angel for sure. There's just no real use for the Marine Craig. Angel can heal shit. New Kid doesn't take that much damage from it. Slave is probably the choice because there's nothing that really gets a huge benefit from Santa. If you're going Nicole, I would say you probably want to go Santa because you could double up on the Catapult Timmy boost on your Nicole. And potentially the Angel Wendy double heal could help keep your boosted Nicole alive, which is pretty good too. But at the same token, Slave has like a built-in instant 3 cocks for the Nicole as well. Unless Medusa kills you, obviously. Even midline with GWC, fuck the Leanne chip a bar. Yeah, pretty much. My mom said Marine Craig is the pick this week and Glanz is flat out wrong. LOL. Yeah, but what's the consistency that Scout is actually going to break Slave? Because Scout, in order to break Slave, has to get his first charge off. He doesn't break it without that first charge. And he might barely even break it after that first charge, honestly. But it's all you got to do is have Medusa or, you know, play Scout down the line next to your Slave. It doesn't take much to just kill that fucking Scout. It takes a little bit more to kill. I don't think you can. I think the goal to break the Slave well, you know, that kind of makes Pirate Ship Timmy kind of interesting because he could break the Slave. Satan breaks the Slave. I don't think it's that. But that's why I'm thinking Slave with Bradley. If you had Bradley instead of Leanne, you could potentially get overrun by, you know, if they recognize that early, they just play Grand Wizard Cartman and Santa next to each other with fucking Medusa right next to him. But at the same time, Leanne could get killed by Medusa and you lose. Like, you lose. So I think I like this. I like the Bradley. I like running Bradley, Slave, Grand Wizard Cartman with the slow. It'll also be really shitty to kill. With the Angel boosting them. Or healing them. With the card like Medusa in the back supporting. If they beat that with Leanne, then your Witch push can fuck shit up. Supported by Timmy. Not hard to keep Medusa out of Leanne range anyway. Leanne is more consistent? No way, dude. Leanne can be completely worthless. Well, I wouldn't say completely because she's got decent health and attack. But if you play her against Man Bear Pig Slave and fucking Medusa kills her, you just lost. There's no coming back from that. But a 3-cost Bradley in a deck where the only range is slow as fuck attacking Medusa and Timmy, who adds an extra 800 health. You play Slave top line, Grand Wizard Cartman bottom line, and then you play Bradley behind on the corner where you played Grand Wizard. Good fucking luck dealing with that. Good luck dealing with that. And you could do that with level 3 Bradley. You'd have to have Leanne at least 4. I mean, don't get me wrong. Leanne's fucking great. But the thing is, every fucking person that you play against is gonna know you have Leanne. It's not difficult to not play into Leanne. Just don't play that much energy. There's enough cards in here where you can slow play with like with a fighter that's not really gonna die to the Leanne, and you have a range that's not gonna get in range of Leanne, and she's gonna die. It's not gonna be that hard. And then you can counter that with the Coop, slow play with the Coop, counter that with the Rats, slow play with the Rats, while you play Coop. If they have Leanne and Leanne didn't die and still has health coming at you, you play Coop. If Coop isn't going to deal with it by herself, depending on what they have supporting her, play Medusa in the in a place where she's not going to walk into Leanne, and she's not going to do anything. Nothing's going to she's going to be worthless, right? But Bradley, 3 energy, instant value the moment you put him out. There's a slow on the tank, unless you're a moron and play him into someone who's about to die. If you play Bradley onto a slave, that's and not to mention, if Slave's at his like half and they break it, if you play Bradley, it puts it back up and he's got his heal back. Archangel isn't great with Grand Wizard Cartman. I mean, it's still good. What do you mean it's not great? It's a slow around him. It's not great with Man Bear Pig. I'll tell you that much. It's not good with Man Bear Pig. You can't even get close enough to him. It's great with any tank. I mean, Grand Wizard Cartman with an extra 400 attack or 400 health alone is tough this week because there's nothing to deal with health. There's nothing. I mean, AQR maybe, but I think Angel Wendy might out heal the AQR if it's a level 7. Unless it's a level 7 AQR. Well, no, there's no extra boost at level 7. So yeah, I think Angel Wendy might out heal it. And then AQR is a potential slave infinite heal. So level 5 Grand Wizard Cartman, I'll chip myself to 110 at least. Yeah, Grand Wizard Cartman's real good. The health boost is tiny. Oh, it's real good. It's not good. Well, it's definitely, the slow is definitely the main thing, but it will help Slave. I don't know what you're talking about. It's Team Wars, bro. An extra 300 health is devastating. Like, think about that. Your Slave's at New Kid, about to die. He's about to be ready to defend the Cox, and you play Bradley, and all of a sudden he's got an extra 400 health right at New Kid's doorstep. Like, games get won on shit like that. But yeah, I mean, but the thing I would say with Bradley this week is that you have you have two great slots to use Bradley with. The last time we played Bradley, and Bradley was the clear choice, the only tank was Maxi, and he was still the clear choice, because when you get slowed forever, you're gonna fucking lose that push. And if you lose one push in Team Wars, you lose the whole game, because it's so hard to, unless you have the Satan to clean up, it's so hard to come back from it because you don't get any reset from New Kid Blast. You don't get any help from that. So if they have a, you know, a Timmy that's going to normally die to New Kid Blast, nuh-uh. Timmy just got knocked back behind Grand Wizard Cartman, and you're not fucking touching him, and he's going to blast your shit for a while again. Very tough. Very tough. Leanne, everybody knows you have Leanne, you know? But when you play Leanne, they play Rats. They play Coop. They play, you know, they wait to play their Timmy Rats right before Leanne's gonna die, right? I mean, fuck, they super fart her away before she dies. You know, like crazy shit like that. There's ways to deal with Leanne. There is no fucking way to deal with Bradley. There's no way to deal with him. You can't fucking kill him. If he's behind the tank, he's fucking money. And he's not a bad unit anymore. So if you play him in the top corner away from the fight, you have to have one of your range cards up top to deal with him, or else he's gonna waddle his ass through to your new kid and blast you in like 3 hits, because he's got a pretty good attack now. And that's 3 energy versus Leanne, 5 energy, potentially worthless when she dies to the Medusa, or potentially worthless when your lower level Leanne doesn't take the right unit because there's 4 rats, Astro, 3 cocks, and two rats from Timmy in the mix now. And even if not, that's fucking a bunch of cocks that you just got coming at you. And what in this deck is gonna help you deal with a swarm of cocks other than fucking Santa or Satan? Nelly, maybe? Like, that's the problem. Like, New Kid's not fucking helping. So that's a problem with cock magic in Team Wars, and we've seen this over and over and over again, where someone uses cock magic and dies to the cocks, because you're gonna be very likely to have level 7 common cards in Team Wars. You're gonna be very likely to see level 6 and 7 rares. So those cocks are not gonna be low level cocks. And if you turn 4 level 7 rats into 4 level 7 cocks, you're gonna have a hard time dealing with that. And there's nothing in this deck. There's no Labard, there's no Rogue token, there's no Chaos, Super Fart, I guess. But I don't even think Super Fart kills the cocks, does it? That's a 7 energy combo. I mean, I don't see a way to stop a Bradley push. A good Bradley push put together, spread out, 1 tank on top, 1 tank on bottom. 1 push is breaking through. Whichever push that they lay Leanne on, you put all your units on the opposite push, and then what the fuck are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Yeah, I don't see any way to stop Bradley. Bradley's the choice for sure. Leanne, you're gonna have to deal with, I think as a result of playing Leanne, you're gonna maybe want to pick AQR. Even though Nicole herself, just Nicole alone as a 3-cost fighter with Coop as an option, decent enough. With the Timmy, that's kind of like, it's not hard to play Timmy and Nicole at the same time because of the cost. Medusa out there potentially putting a bunch of snakes into the mix for free, basically. That makes me like the Nicole, but without the removal of Leanne to potentially stop, well, I'm not really worried too much, because like every card that they have, I'm gonna have, you know? So I'm not really worried about not being able to stop his like Grand Wizard Cartman or something like that, because like I'm gonna have my Grand Wizard Cartman. I mean, that's the only tough choice this week, really, is if, well, these two really. I think everything else is pretty obvious. Angel, clearly the choice. Rats, probably the choice. Grand Wizard Cartman, clearly. Catapult, clearly. This one probably won't be clear to most people, but I think if you've played Deckhand versus Astro, you'll understand Deckhand is the clear choice. Freeze Ray is probably the right choice, but like now that I'm thinking about Leanne, Super Fart might be good to deal with the Cox. But then I'm also thinking if it doesn't kill the Cox, then those Cox are just going to come back into the mix, and even if they take only one hit per Cock to kill, it's still a whole another hit that needs to happen, right? Nelly maybe to stop the Cox after Leanne, but that's still a 9-cost combo. You're not gonna have that consistently. Yeah, I really feel like Leanne's just gonna lead you into cock death. Rest in peace, Pegs. That's the only thing I can think. The Nicole, I mean, if you focus the deck on Nicole and you go Santa, Catapult, Coop, Medusa, Rats, I don't think you really need to go Man, Bear, Pig. That's potentially really good, but like you could also potentially play Nicole and just get AQR'd and eventually die. Or you could play Nicole and just get Leanne. You could play Nicole and get Freeze Raid. You could play Nicole and have every single one of your attacks go on a Rat, a Cock. Yeah. I like the AQR this week. That extra removal I think is going to be important. Like even think of Medusa this week. Medusa's not going to be easy to kill this week as opposed to last week. Last week, not that big of a deal. This week might be hard to kill her. There's no way to reach back into the enemy units this week. Last week there was with the Mintberry Crunch, which is a big part of what makes a deck good, is being able to reach into that back line. If you can't break the back line and deal with the back line, you're just gonna lose the pushes because they're just blasting you, right? That also could kill the Angel. Remember, Angel does not heal herself, so it kills the Angel when she comes out. If they have, I mean, just this thought alone, if they have Grand Wizard Cartman out, supported by Angel and Timmy, that's so much value from AQR, and they can't stop that value. They can't stop that value. If you change Timmy for Medusa, even better. Change Angel and Medusa around, even better. Like, that's such a good value. And, like, look at these decks. They're just going to be tanks with range cards supporting them. That's what the fucking whole thing's going to be, to try to avoid Leanne damage. And even potentially, if you get a bunch of Cocks coming at you from Leanne, put AQR in front of your new kid. That does actually stop it. That is an expensive fucking combo, but it's not, you know, last-ditch effort. It's an option. Better than no option. Nicole just dying to him. Yeah, I like the AQR. AQR kills, I think, enough. Even if it's just like because of all the swarm, because of the delay from the Coop, the delay from the Slave, the potential delay from the Grand Wizard even, I think the AQR is going to get the value, because even if you AQR just 2 tanks, that's infinite value that you just got from that bitch, because that's like thousands and thousands of health that you could potentially tick away, because it doesn't stop. AQR does not stop anymore. It used to have a upper limit of a couple thousand or some shit. It was really high. You didn't see it happen. The only way you could, like, I think the only way that you could have Leanne or AQR not kill something back in the day is if it was like Man Bear Pig getting healed. AQR doesn't break Slave. Well, it's it could potentially help, but it's more likely that it hurts you trying to break Slave. You don't want to AQR the Slave if you can help it. So if possible, don't AQR the Slave push. But it doesn't make it impossible to break the Slave. It just makes it so that it makes it so that some units, like let's say the slave break is 150 and you have an assassin that's a 200 attack. If they have 100 if they have 100 health over their halfway point, you're not going to break through the heal. You're never going to break through the heal. But if in between when I attack with my 150, AQR ticks away 2 times and drops that 100 underneath the 50 mark or whatever it is, and then I hit and break the heal, it could potentially help me. So it's kind of a nuance. Like the thing is, everybody always says like, oh, if you have swarm, it's going to make it impossible to break slave. But like, it doesn't really matter to the units that will break slave. It does not matter if there's a bunch of other units hitting it, because like they'll break slave no matter what. If they have 300 attack, when they hit, most likely, even with that extra, even if the heal just happened, they'll still break past it because they have double the heal. If you have double the heal attack or close to it, you can break it yourself very easily. But then at the same time, those swarm units can potentially attack at the same time as your other unit and compound that attack. Like I said with rats, you put the rats on at the right time, it's like all of them attacking at once, and they'll do that over and over and over again unless they have to move or die. If the rats have to move to acquire the target, then they don't attack in sync. This doesn't work anymore. Same thing goes for gnomes. Gnomes are a little bit harder to do though. They don't spread out quite as evenly as rats do. But yeah, I like the AQR this week, honestly. And AQR beats up the Nicole, you know? Oh shit, Nicole got stacked, play Coop and then AQR, and then she's dead before she kills anything other than Cox. Pause. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what people come up with. I think this deck has some variability to it for sure. You could go full on Nicole. You could go full on tank heavy man bear pig berries, kind of trying to get berries to work, which isn't terrible because you have the Coop potential, the rat potential, like you have good potential. But you saw earlier with my berries, they didn't fucking work. Like they're glitched. Why would I play a glitched card, right? Oh yeah, AQR can hit Bradley. Oh yeah, good idea. If they play yeah, dude, that's a big thing right there. And another thing is the AQR damage doesn't get slowed down by the Bradley. So if you get that on the tank that Bradley's protecting, that tank's gonna go down as fast as it would have without that slow, right? So that's potentially good too. That could potentially win you that push. So yeah, AQR, man, so much value, so much value. If you would have had AQR versus that Mintberry Crunch last week, wouldn't have been a fucking problem, right? I like it. And that's going to be the same thing this week. Like Timmy's going to be able to sit back there and blast people. Timmy and Medusa, when you have, oh, I can just play Slave. Oh, Slave died. Oh, I can play Grand Wizard Cartman. Oh, Grand Wizard Cartman died. I can play Witch. By that time, Slave's probably cycled back to your fucking hand. Too good. Too good not to play that. All right, boys. Water break. Yeah, if you don't play what I picked, you're dumb. If MB tri-spawns, Leanne can take down all the potential. I mean, that's possible. I get that. But AQR could too, technically. But I just can't think of a way to stop the Bradley push. And even if they Leanne one of your tanks, obviously never put your tanks fucking next to each other, but if they Leanne one of your tanks, the other tank should be unstoppable then, you know? And that's your goal, like split the push, get the Bradley going on 2, and then whichever one they don't play the Leanne on, you focus that push. Because Bradley plus tank will kill Leanne. You won't have to play an extra card, I don't think. And if they play an extra card to support the Leanne, your bottom push should fucking just push in and then their top push will walk into you, and then you can deal with them with, you know, whatever fighter you deem necessary. Leanne's the only removal. Yeah, I mean, that's true, but like AQR is removal too. People aren't giving her due. If there's no purify, the AQR is removal. AQR removes everybody it hits. If you use AQR, the units that you put it on will die, with the exception of maybe Slave, because if nothing else hits them, Slave won't die. But you have to play something else to break the Slave, right? So I will say though, like the Leanne's kind of the only way to deal with the Slave consistently, but like if you're playing Leanne just to break the Slave, you're probably gonna lose that game anyway. I think it won't be that hard to break the Slave with the assassins that we have. I don't think we need to worry about that. I think deckhand with a couple rats and snakes and shit, and coop and stuff, I think they can do it. It's not that hard to break Slave if you have an assassin. Like all you need is an assassin to hit it. Yeah, most people don't play AQR. They don't really realize her potential is really good, especially in a place like Team Wars where it's all about like one value play. Like if you get one play where you get a big value swap, that can be the difference, because there's no reset. They don't get to reset 16 of your energy with new kid damage, right? So if you get a good push, like you saw it, I could just support my pushes and just push right in, like just play assassins and shit. They couldn't stop me. I will say though, Satan this week, you want to probably slow play, shit like that. But it'll be typically the Leanne that you'll see, I think. But I think you'll see the Bradley decks will also fuck shit up. I think a good player playing the Bradley deck will beat every player that plays, even a good player playing a Leanne deck. I truly believe that. But I think a bad player could probably play the Leanne deck better than the Bradley deck. This is why I wish you could set levels for testing. Yeah, I agree. It's really worthless to test for Team Wars, because like if you tested Team Wars in like Team Wars, like friendly fight last week, you would have thought Midberry Crunch was dog shit and wouldn't have been able to do anything, because like level 1 doesn't do very much. Although I will say my level 1 was tearing shit up on the adventure lock. It was awesome. All right, let's look at the update, the dev update. We got some balance changes to look at. It's gonna be pretty exciting. All right, there she blows. All right, so don't forget, cheesy poofs are still a thing for the next week. I believe it's this week only. It'll be like last time, it ends on Sunday, and then you have Monday, Tuesday to buy stuff from the shop or whatever. Right now there's a cheesy poof mission happening, which we're probably gonna I don't know. I might not play it after. We'll see. We'll see how we feel after we're done with it, because this one's I don't know. I'm torn. We'll decide later if we're gonna keep playing. But usually we'll play after on Mondays. Leanne event Tuesday, Wednesday. Another Cheesy Poofs event Thursday, and then a Grand Wizard Cartman event over the weekend. So it'll be pretty nice. Grand Wizard Cartman events I think are actually pretty fun. And then the Halloween special, what's that? Where's that? All cards that have Death Wish abilities will cost 1 less energy point to play them. So that's interesting. I think they've done this before, and it just becomes like a Butters Kenny mayhem. And now with Inuit being such a badass, although he's not that great at level 1, so it won't be that great in challenge mode. Worth it for the coins? Yeah, that's fair. Looks pretty typical. All right, now we got some balance changes to talk about. So we took a closer look at Robin Tweak and felt that strategies you can have with him were limited. So we decided to open new possibilities for him. We also adjusted the targeting logic to target right as Robin is spawned or right before the arrow shot. What? So either or? What? How does that make sense? Oh, whichever finds a target in the cone first. Why would they make that distinction? We adjusted the targeting logic to target right as Robin is spawned. Or before. So you could play Robin and then play another unit into his cone and get the boost target? Fuck me, dude. Fuck me. That's gonna be good. And you gave him an attack boost? Fuck. 50% attack boost. 3 cost still? Whoa. Dude, you're gonna be able to just instantly get it on... Dude, that's gonna be so fucking strong. Yeah, you're gonna be able to instantly get it on Canadian Night Ike. Or Diabetes, potentially. Even within a group. Oh no! Fuck me, I'm glad I have level 7 Robin Tweak. That's gonna be so fucking good. That is gonna be so good. Oh man, you guys are gonna see. That's gonna be a new meta is Robin Tweak. That's gonna be so good, dude. You don't even have to get it on anybody good. Like, if you could focus it on the unit that's up front taking the damage, like that's all that matters. Just get it on the unit taking the damage. Or get it on the perfect unit like Diabetes, whatever. Put it on the slave that just broke half health. Fuck, dude. And you made him stronger. 4.5 range isn't bad either. Yeah, get it on a Sizzler that's... I would say, yeah, if your Sizzler gets fully stacked and is still half health, boost that motherfucker. Oh, God. Yeah, Robin Tweak. I played Robin Tweak after they boosted him this last time. I played him for a while and found very good luck with him. But unfortunately, at that point, like, Inkin was super popular and he was just getting blasted by Inkin constantly, so I took him out. Cow Stampede. So all in all, great change for him because he's going to be very playable now. I'm going to say that, like, Team War is instant choose for the Robin Tweak now. Cow Stampede. We're happy with the reception of Cow Stampede. However, the card has been a nuisance in lower arenas. Ain't that the truth? Like, you can, like, imagine having a level 14 new kid and running into cows that were basically guaranteed to be level, what, 4 for everybody from the battle pass? Does Robin give Classy a second freeze? Would that depend on... Well, is it a heal? Well, no, I guess he heals now too. So yes, if he heals him past the point where it would be 75%, yes, she would get another stun, but she would, in that process, she would lose the boost until she's stunned again. But the Cow Stampede, so the power damage is higher. So now you can't just play somebody like an assassin next to him and get blasted by him. They're gonna actually kill people now. Like, they're gonna actually kill stuff when they're charging, which is kind of cool. Lowers their health, which I think is nice. Satan deals with them a little better now. Inkin deals with them a little better. You know, AoE stuff will deal with them a little quicker. The attack getting boosted like that, I like this change, I think, because I think what they realized is that kind of, and you can see this on my channel on YouTube, I have a deck with Gunslinger and actually it was Gunslinger and Mr. Hat Garrison with the cows. That was just brutal. You were able to play the cows and then play Garrison, kill the shit out of anything that was coming at him, and then walk right to New Kid and keep doing damage. But what you could also do is you let the cows hit New Kid, start attacking New Kid, and then you use Garrison on any unit, and the cows, because their attack animation is so long, and I don't know if you guys know this about how taunting and targeting works. If you retarget something like a taunt or Garrison retarget or whatever it might be, if you retarget something, you finish your current attack to its entirety until your new attack starts, and then you change your targets. So if you have a dog poo that's just about to attack and you Zen Cartman him, he'll go through his whole attack, and then he'll switch to attacking Zen. So the same thing will happen with happens with Cow Stampede. You get him onto New Kid, you let him attack that first time, and then right after they attack the first time, you use Garrison on a different target, and it will boost the cows, but the cows will still be in their animation attacking New Kid, and all 3 cows will get a plus 130 or whatever attack boost onto their New Kid hit, and it's almost an instant bar. And I did that in a Team Wars battle actually, and it was hilarious. But this kind of circumvents that to an extent, at least the Gunslinger, because the attack is just so much slower now, right? So if you get, BHK, if you get Gunslinger, if you get Ninju, if you get something like that on the cows, it's not going to be as devastating because the attacks are coming in slower, and they themselves, their movement speed was decreased, so they're not going to be as quick with Warboy, shit like that. But to an extent, this also means they're going to be doing more damage with their power as they stampede slowly through the mix, but not bad. I kind of like that one. Now, Starvin' Marvin has me tripping, man. This fucking card is going to be hilarious. Starvin' Marvin has been starving for attention. With the updated stats, there should be more meaningful decision to make around headhunters. Man, they buffed Starvin right after they changed Hyperdrive to 2 cost? Fuck me. 3 cost flying headhunter with decent health. He already had decent health. It was his attack that sucked. Decent health, and now a little bit better attack. And guess what? Now you fucking put Frontier Bradley with him. All of a sudden, he's not a bad fucking card. So yeah, Starvin' Marvin. I mean, I'd throw Starvin' Marvin in my Garrison deck. Like my Mr. Hat Garrison deck. You throw him in there, starts beating people up, flying unit, can't stop him. That's gonna be pretty good. That's gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna be excited to ink in some Starvin' Marvins. Hunter Jimbo, we adjusted the power length and we took his health back. I'm down with the health. I feel like for 4 cost and what his ability does, he's just alive for too long, and it combos with Ned too well, I think. Power duration from 15 to 10. I don't think that's going to be super impactful. The difference between 5 seconds for that tail end of that power, not going to be that bad. So I feel like that's going to be just fine, but it's just going to limit his potential, because yeah, he can just still fuck shit up. Ink and Craig, the new stats from the previous change have proven to be extremely helpful for Ink and Craig. Even Red Lynx understands that was a buff, not a nerf. The goal with this change is to ensure that his fantasy is still intact while toning his overall strength. I'm not sure what that means, his fantasy. So power damage getting lowered, that sucks. So that means his chip damage will be lowered too, maybe? I don't know. If his chip damage isn't lowered, that's fine. If his power damage is just lowered, that's fine, I guess. You kind of have to couple the Incan damage with the Psalm half damage now. Time between attacks. So now to circumvent the fact that he's... Wow, look at that DPS rating. to circumvent a bit the fact that he hits really hard now, they just made him attack a little slower because he had a pretty good attack speed. So 14% DPS on him. He's still going to be just as good. Power damage wasn't really what made him good necessarily either. So I think that's a pretty fair change, I think. We'll see how that goes. I think he'll still be just as useful. Want more health to make up for it? Yeah, exactly. Or more new kid chip, you know? Satan. All right, Satan's already been played almost like a tank, so this change makes it clearer for new players acquiring the card. Additionally, the power range has been able to clear out big pushes, and we hope that the reduced size makes it harder. So the range is getting reduced from 3 to 2.5, which is pretty big, actually. And then now he's categorized as a tank, which we actually saw coming because in some of their member berries testing video, they had Satan as a tank. I would say Satan no longer getting the Elf King boost, but now getting the Bradley, the Archangel Bradley boost is probably better for him, especially considering he has that range attack. So, and it does have a slight knockback, right? So he'll slightly knock him back into having to walk in through the slow, and then just initially while they're walking through the slow, he'll have a couple hits on him. So I think that's overall going to benefit Satan to be a tank over a range card. That's the only interaction that matters for that is the Bradleys, unless it's like a challenge mode, like, you know, tanks are cheaper or something like that. All right, Pope Timmy. We forgot to remove a tag from Pope Timmy that prevented him from being spawned by Dark Angel Red. They had a tag instead of it being by the energy. It's now possible to try out interesting chain combos. Dark can now target Pope Timmy. Okay, that might be dangerous. Pope has a decent amount of health where he survives Inkin. Now he definitely survives Inkin. So if he gets Inkined or Midberry Crunch or something like that, then you could DSR him real quick. And that, well, but the problem is that, well, I could bring Coon back, I guess, with DSR. Or not DSR, DR. Dar could bring back Coon. I'm thinking about my Pope Callgirl deck. Dar could bring back Coon potentially in that deck pretty well. I mean, the double Ninja with him would be good. The Pope Timmy. Yeah, I like the idea of the Pope Timmy getting darred. That could be fun. And Changeling Red and Member Berries are getting released. So Member Berries getting released very early, and which makes sense because they were in the Battle Pass, so everybody pretty much has them anyway. And then they're gonna fix the problem with they're not spreading out to more than one target. So that's probably the bug I saw. So hopefully they fix that. But you can't really trust that they'll fix it because they say they're gonna fix it all the time, right? And they don't fix it. There is also a Halloween costume contest going on, so make sure you stop by that. There's another channel. There's another forum post that goes over that. Machete kills. Okay, rabble in 3, 2, 1. Isn't okay? So that was nothing. Dar reviving Pope Timmy, and then he pulls more units. That's the worst balance change you guys have done. Yeah, that's pretty tough. I would have left that there. I think they're gonna find that they're gonna put that tag back. Satan ruined. I wouldn't say he's ruined, but I would say it's definitely gonna be easier to play around the Satan if you play top side and bottom side consistently. If you play top side, bottom side consistently, because right now when you play Satan about mid, the gizmos that I have up top, sometimes one of the gizmos will survive. So now it'll be much easier to have my side gizmo army to survive, or any anybody playing on the side. So if you play top bottom, it's going to be harder to kill them all. You're going to have to make a choice. Or you're going to have to wait really late until they're closer to New Kid. But that's the problem. They'll still probably pretty much run into Satan's range eventually. But not every card will. Like, not every range card will. You won't be able to hit Medusa and Call Girl on opposite sides, you know? So that'll be good. Yeah, you put Wonder Tweak and then Satan. I mean, that's not terrible. Peace out, Matt. Satan got a little nerf, but overall you buffed every card except you nerfed Adventure. Plus, Sam was already nerfed. I mean, Sam is technically not a nerf. He's still pretty strong. Maybe better because he's just a better fighter in general now. So you can kind of lead him into the charge, still get full value from his ability pretty much. I don't think it's not that. I don't think it's bad. Is the plan to have no one use adventure cards anymore? People like that are so stupid. All very nice, but when are you going to do something about the D rankers? Shut up. Why don't they put limits so that the player doesn't get off the sand? What? Those of level 25k that do not fall below 8.5k. Those of level 24 that do not... Oh, that's the easiest and most effective solution to end D rankers once and for all. So you're saying that based on your new kid rank, should people who think new kid rank is an effective measure of the account are just absolutely bonkers stupid. I just cannot understand that at all. Do you make use of the theme card usage percentage stats in Rainbow Six Siege? This is how the dev team knows what is OP. I'm sure that's what they... I mean, what else? You tagged Ubi Team? Who the fuck is them? I'm sure they use card use statistics, but they use it like all from bronze, wood to gold. Like, it's not just like it's never gonna look like what you're seeing is never gonna look like what the whole picture is, because like the card might be dog shit for you, but it might be the strongest card ever in early ranks because it's just like the nature of the card or something like that, right? Just depends. It would be cool if we could actually make Nelly useful. Yeah, she's just not good. She needed to be that 3 cost. Changing the 4 cost made her tough. First of all, Incan was already nerfed enough. I disagree. Incan was a better card. He was a better card. Secondly, Jimbo may have been OP originally, but I doubt a second nerf was warranted. I mean, why do you think they fucking did it? They're just like, oh, didn't do it well enough. Clearly, what they wanted to change didn't change, and that was probably the statistics that they were looking at previously. Feels like Adventure is well on its way to the back of the pile. Yeah. No real... I mean, Inuit's still real good. Inuit... People are just like, oh yeah, you fucked Sam up, but you made Inuit potentially the best assassin in the game. Okay, we get it. Member berries are the new card in the game. Can we stop playing them in Team Wars? Yeah, that's so stupid. With balance changes, you do not need to justify them. Please tell us what the changes are. That's so fucking stupid, dude. Go eat shit. There are other people who wanted to see these changes. You dumb fuck. Is it working on cows? It still isn't helping lower league players with cows. How? What? People are constantly using them and still not enjoying this game anymore. It's tiresome, so I'll probably be uninstalling. Oh, poor guy. Wait, they're gonna nerf the cows. What? What a fucking pussy. Shall be getting a negative review. What a fucking loser. Satan Power Rage negative 17 in diameter is actually 30% of area. Just pointing it out. What? What is he saying? Ding, ding, actually 30% of area? What are you talking about, you stupid fuck? The negative 17% just meant what the change was. Going from 2.5 to 3, or 3 to 2.5, whatever, is a 17% change. Not the range of it is changed by 17%. What is he talking about? What a dumbass. Really, is there anybody complaining about Ink and Craig? I mean, hear me out. People were complaining about Ink and Craig before, partially because of his ability to be Darred. That made him very difficult to deal with. But in general, he's just a punishing card. He punishes bad play, and bad players fucking hate that, right? And so if he was strong before, strong enough to require a nerf, and I'm telling you that without a doubt, he's a better card now than what he was, then he's still too good, and he still needs to be changed. So a nerf to Ink and Craig still makes perfect sense. I'm not going to justify. I really hate that person, so I'm not going to read their post. Posting yet again about the brutal changes to TVT. I suspect only a small number of teams in Gold League are currently feeling the effects. No, a lot of teams are currently feeling the effects. I mean, when you look at the top, when you look at the brackets, you have a winning bracket that has an average of 98 points. Like, the winning teams are the teams who get the least amount of zeros, you know? Like, it's fucking hard out there for a pimp right now. It's just brutal. If you're a top team, you probably don't notice much of a difference, but further down, it's just brutal. It makes no difference what my individual rank or strength of decks is, being paired against whichever Gold League player is seeking a match. Yeah, that's always happened. It will get a little better for us once more, although actually right now people think they are taking into account your rank, but I don't think they are. Sadly, these changes are causing a great deal of turmoil within teams as they make tough choices to boot long-term members or the best players leaving to join a top team. Who cares? This is unsustainable for the future of this game. You are fucking a dipshit. Do you not understand that everything that you just said is the absolute mark of a surviving game? If you have people leaving teams to join a better team, and you have teams deciding, you know, who to kick out because they're trying to get the best team because their current players can't fucking win games, that is better for the longevity of the game. Because people were checked out of the fucking game. People didn't give a shit. And now people are focused. People are trying to play again. People are trying to be the best. That is the best for the future of this game, not fucking potato wars like it was before. It's definitely better now. And this is the closest it's ever been to the original iteration, which I've always said the original iteration was the best iteration. They should have listened to me. They should have listened to me. Why'd you make it to where Poop Timmy cannot use Call Girl, but now you can use Dark Angel Red with Poop Timmy? Why did you make it to where Poop Timmy cannot use Call Girl? You can use Call Girl with Poop Timmy. I love that he's saying Poop Timmy, though. That makes me laugh. Finally, Satan nerf. Satan getting the nerf you deserve. The card has been in over half of decks in top rank for over 2 years now. I don't think this is going to change much, but we'll see. And allowed players to make multiple mistakes in games and still win. I will say that's true. Like I should be able to play around him better, which we will be able to do now. Although he still will potentially, you know, destroy entire pushes. So he still makes pushes like, you know, Call Girl into something or Pope into something. He'll still hit those pushes because that'll be forced to group, right? So, meh. 9 straight games, Adventure. 9. All of them Sam and Inkin. I mean, yeah, if you're playing Adventure, you're going to be playing Sam and Inkin. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course you are. That's like saying, oh, they're playing Mystic and they got fucking Unholy Combustion, these bastards. Of course you are. If there's cards that are better than others, play those cards. Why would you not? Why would you not? Adventure has been the most played theme for months now. There are literally stats to prove that. Oh, let me check that real quick. The most played deck for months, he says. For months, he says. All right, let's look at decks. Top decks. No, that's not right. Deck. Cards. Here we go. Cards. Comparison. Top 250. 4 adventure cards are in the top 10, and it's Stand of Many Moons, Ink and Craig, Inuit Kenny, and Lightning Bolt. And those are in a third of decks. So, I mean, that's a decent amount, but I would say that's balanced. Like, that's a balanced... A third of decks have one theme, and there's 5 different themes, but you can have 2 different themes. That's, like, statistically... That's, like, every card, every theme, if it's even, should be about 30%, roughly. But you'll see Sizzler Stewart, 48%. Satan, 56%. Mechatimi, 47%. Mysterion, Callgirl, Coon, Chaos, Mosquito, 46 to 30%. Then you're hit with visitors after that. Then you start getting into, you know, just kind of random stuff that just depends on what theme you're looking at. But that's the top 250, right? If you filter this down and you change to the top 50, you do to top 1,000, Satan's still 51%. And then you get pretty much all sci-fi superhero, and then you get about 1/3, you know, Stan, Inuit, Ink, and Craig. Now, if we filter down even more to, let's go real deep, right? Let's filter all the way down to MMR 7,000 to 7,500, right? We go 7,000 to 7,500, then you start getting, well, that's actually looks like adventure. Looks like adventure superhero is actually the big combo there. Well, actually, it might be superhero sci-fi and then mystic adventure based on what it's looking like. But it's a pretty good amount though. Like the top percent at 7,000 MMR is 31%. When you look at the top being Satan at 50%, that's a pretty good ratio. The top card is in 30% of decks. That's a pretty damn good spread. So their balance at the 7,000 to 7,500 rank, not bad. And that's probably partially because of like what cards you have leveled kind of thing. You can't really play the cards that you don't have leveled, right? So depending on the level, obviously it's going to impact what cards you play. But like if we go all the way down to, let's go to MMR 5,000. Then dog poo is in 40% of decks. Like, what the fuck? But cows are in 22% of decks. We go all the way down to MMR 0 to 300. Nathan is in 71% of decks. MMR 1200, dog poo in 48% of decks. MMR 2500, dog poo in 42% of decks. Dog poo's a nightmare. 3200, still dog poo at the top. 3,900, still dog poo. 46, still dog poo with superheroes, it looks like. Then 53 to 6,000 looks like dog poo plus adventure superheroes. This is hilarious to me. 6,000 to 6,500 dog poo, still up. I mean, maybe dog poo was an event card this weekend, and that's what's going on. But this is the last 14 days, so that would include 2. This is really funny. Anyway, we'll stop rambling about that stuff. Yeah, dog poo's killing it. I've faced those level 21 new kids in Arena 12 or 13, and to be honest, I don't think they're D-rankers. Some have been playing the game for a long time and are not very good players. I have no legendaries over level 3, and I will say that I've beaten quite a few level 25 new kids. Also, quit complaining because you're not winning every game. That's important. Like, you should be winning about 60% if you're kind of where you should be. I would say... I mean, that's true. So a person with a good account that's at a low level could be one of like 4 things. 1, a bad player, just can't get higher. 2, someone who never plays the meta, doesn't play a good deck ever, and just like doesn't care about their rank, just wants to have fun. They're not going to be ranked very high. 3, someone who used to play a lot, has a good account, doesn't play much anymore. Maybe they play 1 pack a day. You just happen to be one of the guys they beat. Because of the way the ranking works right now, if you just play, you're gonna rank up. You have to lose like 3 games to every 2 that you win to like lose points. So you have a pretty good chance to go up in your rank if you're just playing. And even if you're technically, you know, if you're technically higher than your rank is, you know? So it could be people like that. And then also it just could be people who are intentionally deranking. They exist. Or people, I mean, it's not necessarily an intentional derank as much as it's, they don't, like, maybe they have other things that they're doing. So, like, if a game doesn't go their way, oh, they jump to something else. Or they stop playing, they watch the movie they're watching or something like that, you know? So they're like, they only win the games that they really win because of their levels, probably, you know? And also, you know, those few new kid 25s that person beat, maybe they just weren't paying attention, you know? Maybe they were taking a shit and... Oh my God, who the hell cares? And they had to wipe, and so they missed a bar because of that. What's up, Cool Dad Shorts? I'm missing 4 copies of level 4 Cartman. Which card should I get? Because I think Satan is a harder card to get and still is good after the nerf. There's no card is harder to get. What do you guys recommend me, please? I would appreciate it. I would get Grand Wizard Cartman, honestly. Because you can actually feasibly get it. You have 4 copies of Cartman. You could potentially get 4 copies. You can't get 9 copies of Satan. What? No way. Don't play Adventure much, but this is a shocking decision to nerf Incan further when he was already ruined. He wasn't ruined. Nah. Also, Sam's not destroyed. This guy's not a good player, clearly. I know the devs got second guessed a lot, but you guys doing a solid job. Frequent balance changes and multiple cards, many of which the community asked for, whether it be buffs or nerfs. You always get second guessed and can't please everyone, but these are the same critics who just claimed changing in member berries would break the game before they even played the card. And time has shown those cards haven't broken the game. Well, also, nobody has them leveled, so it's hard to know if they did or not. And they've only made it more interesting. Also, never forget the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. LOL. Don't touch Incan. I just got Sizzler to 4, and still think if any legend should be nerfed, it needs to be him. I agree. Sizzler needs to be changed in some way. But I don't really know what you could do to him that would leave his kit intact. I mean, just lower his attack damage, maybe? But his attack damage is already kind of shit. It's about the speed. I don't know how you... I don't know. That's a tough one, because some cards, just like by the nature of their kit, they're going to be strong. And it's like you can't do anything about it unless you change the kit. Like Mecha, for instance. Mecha and his mind control... always going to be a useful card just because of the nature of what mind control does. Retargeting, changing targets, stealing abilities, all that kind of stuff. Adventure has no range. LOL, Wally. Adventure has no range. Why would you rebalance Incan and won't give health boost to the only playable Adventure range card? I think Shelly and Captain Wendy have something to say. No, you're right. They're not. I mean, they're not useful high up. They're useful at lower ranks, but they're not useful high. I mean, Captain Wendy 7, she can be all right, but the problem is she just dies. Maybe she doesn't die to Incan anymore. Now she's useful. I think Shelly's good. Shelly's an interesting card. I like to lead Shelly midline because she can get on New Kid pretty easily, and if people don't like realize it soon enough, like, oh shit, she doesn't even get hit by New Kid. And some dummies will play a card in a way where they'll get hit by her ability, and she'll be able to use her ability, knock them away, or kill it if it's an assassin, and then keep hitting New Kid while it's trying to get back to her. It's pretty fun. You couple that with Incan Chip, maybe like a Marcus deck, it could be pretty fun. And Shelly, just like, there's some cards that she just counters crazily, like Witch Doctor Token counters him really well. Terrence and Phillip, she counters pretty well. There's quite a bit that she counters pretty well. Don't sleep on Wendy. Yeah, I haven't played Wendy in a while, but she's definitely not as good as I'd like her to be. Same with Buccaneer Bebe. But that's a thing, like Buccaneer Bebe, the nature of her kit, as she gets more and more boosted, it becomes more and more easy to boost her which makes her like infinitely strong. If she just had 50 extra attack at level 6, she'd be so good. If the boost was doubled what it was right now, she'd be so good. I'm thinking, what if... Alright, here's an idea. So, Buccaneer Bebe... When Buccaneer Bebe attacks a unit, it applies grievous wounds, or whatever you want to call it, and that unit gets like 50% reduced healing or something. But then if the unit that Buccaneer Bebe is attacking dies, she gets... Or a unit that has the grievous wounds thing, let's say. If a unit dies with that on them, then Buccaneer Bebe gets a stack of her ability. If Buccaneer Bebe is the killing blow, Buccaneer Bebe gets double stacks of her ability. And then as a result, you'd probably lower the stack. Level 7 Belf has more attack than Buck and faster yeah, dude. Yeah, Belf is way better. And having more health is better in general because you could survive New Kid, which is better. Like, what does it matter if I get Buccaneer Bebe stacked to 5,000 attack if she dies to New Kid Blast? You know what I mean? Like, what does that matter really? But Buccaneer Bebe surviving New Kid Blast, or what does it matter if Buccaneer Bebe gets like really stacked up and then the enemy just plays Chaos and another assassin and kills her before she even gets one attack off? So like, yeah, but Belf being able to, and not only that, like Hyperdrive can boost the Belf, and with cheap cards that can boost Belf, like with her attack, like Maki, you know, like Ninja, BHK, stuff like that, stuff that could boost her attack and make her still a good damaging unit with 700 health. Like, it's very good, very good. I would say. And like a Buccaneer Bebe has the potential not to get any stacks, right? Because like in a competitive match, you don't see much swarm. You know, you're really not seeing much swarm at a high level gameplay, like top 250 maybe. You're not seeing much swarm. You're not seeing much cocks. You're not seeing much that. You're not seeing many low, like, you know, common assassins or something like that Buccaneer Bebe could potentially easily kill. You're just not seeing that kind of stuff. But gets stacked at 4, it's a bow brain easy remove decision. Yeah, exactly. You can remove her, but like removing Belf, not a, like, that's tough. Like if you have to do that, that's hard. Yeah, because that's a good point. And it also depends on like who you're playing too, because anybody worth a damn is going to understand, oh shit, I got to kill that Buccaneer Bebe that's about to get stacked. But when you look at like the highest stacked Buccaneer Bebe I've ever gotten was on a level 5 Buccaneer Bebe. I've had level 7 Buccaneer Bebe for a year and a half, 2 years, and I've never gotten anywhere near the buff that I got with that level 5 Buccaneer Bebe because I was playing some fucking potato ass dipshit in level 15 New Kid, and I had a level 5 Buccaneer Bebe, but I had hyper leveled my Buccaneer Bebe. I had only requested Buccaneer Bebe on my adventure lock when I started my adventure lock, so I had like a level 5 Buccaneer Bebe, and I was going up against like level 3 common assassins. So after like two stacks, I was able to one-shot every assassin that this guy threw at me. So this guy feeds me an entire coop's worth of cocks an entire coop's worth of cocks to Bebe. She gets every single last hit on him, and by that time Buccaneer Bebe's roughly midline. And then after the coop dies, not while the cocks are alive, he starts laying fucking Smuggler Ike, Princess, Paladin, one at a time, and my Bebe is just one-shotting every one of these motherfuckers, and he cycles all the way back to Coop, plays Coop again, and I eat the entire Coop again. And I have like 500-600 stacks from a level 5 Buccaneer Bebe, and that's it. No Ninju. There's other people who are like, oh, I got Buccaneer Bebe stacked 2000, but you stacked him with Ninju, you fucking dick shit. You didn't fucking really stack her. But yeah, the highest I've ever had was a level 5. I've never gotten anywhere near that because now that I have a level 6 and 7 Buccaneer Bebe, like you said, she's such a clear removal target, and the people I'm playing aren't absolute dumbasses, and so they'll remove the Buccaneer Bebe. Mad Stacks back in Silver Shield. Yeah, it was definitely Silver Shield. And that was Silver Shield back when it was like stars, where you had to get like stars to continue. That was old school. I was fed a full coop of cocks. Yep. But yeah, I agree. Belf is very good. But the thing is though, she's a great card, but she's worthless at the top of the ranks. Just because everything else outclasses her so much. Like there's just like that the S tier in this game so far surpasses like the A++ tier that it's just ridiculous. The cards that are good in this game are just so much better than the cards that aren't. Or even the cards that are great are so much better than the cards that are good that it's just like that's why you see Satan in 50% of decks, you know? But I'm excited for that, I think the most, to see less Satans. Although we might end up seeing more Satans since they gave them away in the cheesy poofs. But at least the Satans will be much less punishing. My Gizmos will survive and murder a Satan more likely now, so I think that might be kind of fun. Gingivitis, though, thanks for stopping by, man. Cool Dad Shorts, it's good to see you as well. But we're going to call it a night tonight, guys. We're not going to play South Park after this. It's already 10. We went for 2 hours. We were rolling. Or I guess 3 hours, technically. Wait, no, we started at 7:30. I'm stupid. Level 5 Dusa versus level 5 Belf for 1 more mana. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's just such a... Yeah, exactly. Now, if Belf was 2 cost, we could fucking talk. We could talk. The single 2 cost range being Belf, that'd be so broken. But I think if you were to make one range card 2 cost, it would have to be like... It would have to be someone with no real ability. I mean, I'm thinking visitors, but that would be broken as fuck. Maybe make a 2 cost range card that doesn't have an ability. Maybe like Cupid, maybe? Make Cupid 2 cost? Alt Kite? Yeah. But yeah, I just want a 2 cost range. Make a new one that doesn't have an ability, just something that can take a boost, that can just get boosted, you know? Easy boost. Or a nice cycle card, easy to support a tank. Make little mini pushes with a fighter in that. Yeah, that's what I would love, a 2 cost neutral fucking... No, not neutral, that'd be terrible if every deck could have it. If there was a 2 cost range in neutral, it doesn't matter how good that card is, I bet it would be in every deck. Because it's just brutal what you can do with a 2 cost card that just potentially doesn't die, just like a range card, you know? Could be good. And then that cycles to your stuff. I don't know, that's good. Arkansas, thanks for stopping by. We're peacing out though. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you want to get some extra channel points, stick around for the raid we're about to hit. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. We do have a video up currently for the Team Wars games. If you want to get a closer look at them, get some music going in the background, we'll be doing one of those every Monday. The Team Wars game, or the Team Wars, or this update right here, will be up every Tuesday. And then we'll try to get videos up every other day of the week as well. I would really appreciate it if you followed me on YouTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to me, that is. And I have about 150 subs to go, 160 subs to go before I get my goal of 1,000. And then that's like my only goal in life this year, so we got to try to reach that. We will see. I have to watch the YouTube for me versus Flustered Keck. Oh, you're not gonna get that one's not gonna be there, bro. You think, why would I put that, you dumbass? All right, we'll see you guys. Have a good one. Peace out, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.